So as I was saying, I'm a little torn shooting this video, and it's probably because the wounds are still fresh. All right, so I'm a little torn, to say the least, in filming this video. And anybody who owns, actually, let's talk new dome lights and one in the very rear for the ADV. Great addition for when we're out doing campfires and stuff. You have stuff in the back you'd want to be able to see. Great addition to put in more dome lighting. Anyways, has nothing to do with this video. So as I was saying, I'm a little torn shooting this video, and it's probably because the wounds are still fresh. But anybody who owns an Xpedition knows that getting into the dash of these machines and into the console area is an atrocity, is an absolute painstaking endeavor to get this thing apart. But after that being said, that Viper Shifter, definitely a badass addition. And as time goes on, I will be more happy that I did it. Like I said, it just may be too soon from what I had to deal with. But I'm going to go through and point out some things that'll make the install, if you guys go down the route of doing a Viper Shifter or any type of shifter, making the install a little bit easier with some tips and tricks. All right, here we go. So in order to get the dash panel off your machine, you have these Torx heads along the front that need to come out. You're gonna have more rivets, plastic rivets than you can count. The holder for the windshield also needs to be removed. You will remove the, if you have the side mirrors or this panel here, you'll need to remove those, which are 2 plastic screws there. And then you'll have to remove the stud for the hydraulic actuators. And that is an 11 millimeter, and do a deep socket. 11 millimeter fits right on, and pull those out. You'll have to support your windshield, obviously. But once you do that, we'll hop inside here. And you're just gonna start pulling rivets and Torx heads. So you have to remove this Torx head. And one of the hidden ones that is fun is there is a plastic rivet holding this panel to this panel behind here that you'll have to pull. Get up in here. Vent covers, all your vent covers need to come off. And I did it by putting a very small flathead screwdriver behind here. And be careful, you have a white retention clip here, here, and here on each one. And if you just go soft with it and go slow, they will pull out. And pull those out. Don't leave those in the machine. Pull those out for when you put it back in. If you just try to push those back into the white clips, they'll push through and disappear into your dash. Not that I'm saying that's what happened, but I've heard stories. So pull those white clips off, attach them to the back of this, and then push them all on together. Hop out here. But then you've got, I mean, there's rivets everywhere, and you're gonna have rivets all underneath the dash, the speaker panels. Pull them all. Sorry for the crazy video. But then you're going to pull all the rivets, and your seats, you're going to remove them. You're going to remove the glove box, I guess, glove box center console, I guess more is a better word. But there's a ton of rivets just down the back side. Pop this off, you'll unplug the light, you'll unplug the USB things, and then set your console aside. And this is where it gets rough. So you have to get this top piece off. And in order to get this top piece off, you need to disconnect your window buttons and make sure your dash is disconnected to the point that you can lift it up enough, because there are sections of this that go up in here, and you have to pull this off and slide it back. You'll put the shifter all the way back in high, take the top of the shifter off. And honestly, Viper has written instructions. Let me show you these. And even Kurt, anybody who knows Kurt or has worked with Kurt in the shop, he's not a one for reading instructions, but even he admitted that the instructions from Viper Machine, extremely thorough. So honestly, if you follow this step by step, goodness, what a struggle. If you follow this step by step of their instructions, it walks you through perfectly getting that installed. The only other one I wanted to point out that took a while to find is there are 2 hidden rivets behind this panel up on top of this shelf and this shelf. So they sit back here, and if you can see that, back up on top of there. So those have to be removed. And the way I got them is the white clips that I talked about on the vents. There's a white clip that holds this here and here. If you just be gentle and pull this up, you can fold this up a little bit and get back there to release those rivets. And just take your time. And I'm preaching to myself here, do not get frustrated. It is a process, but if you just go through the steps, you're looking at a couple hours to get this thing apart, get the shifter in. But at the end of the day, every time you get in your machine, you get to stare at that beautiful work of art. So go to the effort, take your time, don't get frustrated, read the instructions thoroughly, and enjoy your new shifter.